Welcome to the Match Cards video tutorial for Tournament Indicator. The Match Cards feature in Tournament Indicator allows the user to measure the strength of his hole cards against potential hands his opponents may have. Every time your hole cards are dealt, you can see the Match Cards display when you have toggled to the odds window, which is just above the profile grid. Once you decide upon an action and the flop play begins, the Match Cards display automatically reverts back to the odds and opponent's drawing graph. In every tournament at a given stage, you will either be a big stack or a short stack, and your strategy needs to be adjusted in order to double up if you are a short stack, or if you are fortunate enough to be a big stack, make smart odds plays in order to eliminate a short stack. Keep in mind that smart odds plays do not necessarily mean being ahead in hand strength. Some considerations before making a move will include the payout structure, your bankroll, if the tournament is a qualifier or a cash payout, and are the players close to the money and how close are they? All of the factors involved may be very different to a small stack than it will be a big stack. Here is a case in point of a typical matchup that may occur between a big stack and a short stack in the latter stages of a tournament. You may have noticed that the Tournament Indicator logo, well, it shows the Jack and 9 of diamonds. This represents the kind of hand that you may have to commit to based on your stack situation. If we look at the card player calculations, Jack 9 suited is an underdog to Ace King offsuit, but only by a 3-2 margin. When you are a short stack, these odds should be considered favorable to move in on. As a short stack, I look for 3-2 underdog plays or coin flip situations, or better, as an opportunity to double up. The situation here, though, assumes you know your opponent's hand. As you gain experience, that may be the case sometimes, but not usually, even for the best of players. Your only reasonable guide here is to put your opponent on a range of hands. Therein lies the power of the Match Cards feature, where Tournament Indicator keeps you thinking of the possible hands you are up against. When you think in terms of a range of hands, there are groups that can conceivably be played in a similar way. For example, it is difficult to guess your opponent has pocket fives, but you could say to yourself, I think he has a low pair like fours or fives, maybe even as high as sixes. This way you can better judge the strength of your hand based on that range of hole cards. Here is an example of a range of hands analysis as a short stack. This is final table play in a 180 player sit and go tournament on PokerStars. I have managed myself into the short stack of the table and sit squarely in the M zone with a 3.7 ratio. This is really do or die time, but I am now getting pressure from an aggressive player for a decision for my tournament. The Match Cards display pops up automatically, and it seems I am getting good enough numbers to go all in here. Let's go through them. Again, this is a winning percentage versus the range of hands and not a particular hand in that group. My King-Queen offsuit is a 25% underdog to any big pairs, aces through jacks. It's a 45% favorite to mid pairs, sevens through tens. 47% underdog to low pairs, twos through sixes. I'm only a 25% favorite against the dominated Ace-King. But I'm a slight favorite if I'm just against big cards, unpaired. I'm also a slight favorite if I'm against suited connectors. And I'm a 3-2 favorite against a random hand. The only hands I don't want my opponent to have are big pairs and domination hands like the Ace-King. All the other ranges of hands, I am either coin flip or a slight underdog. There is also a best case scenario too, in that I may have him dominated with King Jack, King Queen, or King 9. Or, even better, he may fold to my re-raise all in. Based on his aggressive behavior, and my being in the red zone, and with a moderate chance I may actually be ahead here, this is an all-in play. That is my decision. The player flips over one of the best hands I could be up against, King 10 offsuit, where I have him dominated. Even if I was behind, this would have been a good call considering my M zone and prize structure. Either I should be playing to double up here, or take my 5th place finish knowing that I made the right decision. This hand put me in the orange M zone, where I was able to pick some better spots and advance even further. I finished this tournament in 2nd place, where the money was substantially better than 5th, in part to good decision making. The match cards feature can be worked the exact same way if you are a big stack looking to eliminate a small stack that won't threaten your placement. Using the match cards tool is also going to help keep your mind open as to what players may be playing. You will find yourself more and more often thinking, yes, that is what I thought my opponent had.